Look, it's no secret. It never has been. I love my comic book movies. I'm unashamed to say that. DC, Marvel, I try to find something to like in all of them. Marvel's obviously been doing better than DC, but there are still several things about DC I like. But one of the complaints about comic book movies over the last really the last 10 or 15 years since the comic book genre has exploded the way it has, is that they've become a little bit formulaic. They're the same old thing. How many times have we heard someone kind of scoff and say, well, we're going to see Batman's origin story again. We're going to see Spider-Man's origin story again. So it needed something fresh. That's why I think it's been fantastic that things like The Boys and Brightburn have come out, because it's given us a bit of a different look. Now, in all fairness, DC has tried to do this with stuff like Red Sun, but it's never really gone super mainstream the way that I think it should. Which brings me to the movie I want to talk about real quick. One of my most anticipated movies coming out in 2022 was Samaritan. And I was really, really excited to get this take on a superhero character that, A, wasn't one that was known. It was a new character. And B, it was kind of catching you on the down and out. Now, this is something that they tried to do with Hancock, with Will Smith several years ago. And my problem with that is that it leaned too much on the comedy and not too much on the point of this down-and-out superhero. This movie, Samaritan, focuses a lot more on that. And while there's a little bit of humor in it, enough to kind of offset the drama and the seriousness of it all, it kind of did what I wanted Hancock to do. Ultimately, though, the movie was a little bit of a disappointment. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. It had nothing to do with the performances. I mean, Sylvester Stallone was fantastic. He always is. He's sly, after all. Dasha Polanco was one of my favorite actresses working. I loved her in Orange is the New Black. She was good in it in a supporting role. I actually like the kid. Usually I find kids in movies like this a bit annoying, but this kid actually played a decent role. My big knock on it is that I saw the twist in the story way too early. I mean, midway through the first act, I was like, yeah, I know what's coming. And it was really sad. I feel like they could have reoriented how they told the story of this character to where you would kind of give that little hint that it was possible, maybe later in the second act, instead of making it so obvious, because it kind of took some of the magic away from the ending of the movie. Now, was the movie good overall? Absolutely it was. I think it was fantastic. Is it one of my favorite movies of the year? I'd like to include it on my list, but the reality is I think there's going to be a lot of movies above it. Far too many to even try squeezing into my top 10. But a good movie, a good watch, good acting. It's worth watching if you have Amazon Prime. Now, I'm really, really disappointed that they dumped this on Prime, but I'm not at all surprised because I don't think the movie would have done very well in theaters. There's a lot of movies that I thought would have done well, and I think should have done well in theaters, that just never even got theatrical releases. This one, however, probably wouldn't have done that well. It's not Sly's best work. It's probably not even in his top 20, so I'd have a tough time putting it in my top 10 of the year. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick hit on a movie that I've been really anticipating, and I finally just recently got a chance to sit down and watch it. So go check out Samaritan. It's on Amazon Prime, if you're so inclined. And we'll see you later. Adios.